When it comes to the origin of our existence, public schools today teach the theory of evolution as fact. But how much faith does it take to believe in evolution, or creation for that matter? In this series, we're going to search for actual evidence for evolution and creation to see which one takes more faith to believe and which one is more like fantasy. In today's message, we're going to be talking about evidence for creation that can be found in our amazing human bodies. We have another special speaker today that I'm really excited about. His name is Dr. James Conner. He's a family physician here in St. Augustine, Florida, and he specializes in the human body. And he's passionate about teaching about God's creation. Stay tuned, you're gonna love this one.
People who go to church and the youth group actually end up being smarter, and they're less likely to have a suicide, and also they're happier. So that's what we're working on tonight. And 1 Corinthians 10:13 talks about God always has a way of escape. As it turns out, guys are more prone to suicide. So by the time we're done tonight, I'm not here to teach, I'm here to train. And so when you're training for what? Performance. Tonight's winning number is, Ethan? 6 billion. Thank you. That was great. 6 billion. And we're also going to talk about infinite regression. So 6 billion and infinite regression. And I'm a family doctor, and there's a problem with suicide. And the news kind of gets it wrong. What do you hear about in the news? The drugs for guys, girls, people are dying, coming across the border, anybody? Fentanyl. But the news gets it wrong. It's really not fentanyl. We use that in medicine. It helps people with pain. There's really a problem with, it's called carfentanyl. And carfentanyl is what we use for rhinoceroses and elephants. And can you see the little red dart there on the rhinoceros? Yeah, that's a dart, and that's got carfentanyl. So carfentanyl is great if you're trying to take and anesthetize an elephant or a rhinoceros. And then they wrap his eyes there so he doesn't get worried. They take a little nap while they fix him up. But what happens if we get a hold of carfentanyl? We die. Talk about diseases of despair. But who we are, where we come from, is where science, religion, the law, and medicine intersect. And who you are, where you come from, is real important. So if we let other people tell us who we are, where we're from, it can be kind of dangerous. So we want to think about then going to the next thing is religion and the law. And religion is defined as where do we come from, who do we owe for that, and what do we owe them? And that's actually been defined in the law in Houston versus Davison in 1890. What is religion? And then we have, what if we say that we came from, we put ourselves together, we evolved over millions of years, we put ourselves together, then who do we owe for that? Who do we owe? Nobody, right? And that's the atheist worldview. The atheist worldview is we put ourselves together and we don't owe anybody and we don't owe them anything. Whereas in the Christian worldview, we say, well, no, God put us together and he has a really neat book to tell us how the manual and that helps us to know what he expects. And that's very helpful. Two different worldviews. And finally, at the bottom is a very famous court case called Edwards versus Aguilar. What that means is from here on tonight, since 1987, things I'm going to tell you, they can't tell you in school. They've said that where do we come from? What does the creation say? Where do we come from? God. Is that religious? Yeah, you're making God, isn't it? So they say that's religious. You can't talk about that in public. So things you hear tonight might seem kind of odd to you. So here we go. First, I want to thank you for being so kind to my friend Alfred Menendez last week. He drove up from Cocoa Beach to talk about the heavens, the universe. But I'm going to take you to the other end of the universe today, to the micro-universe. We're going down to DNA. Here's those guys on the right, your left. Watson and Crick, 1953, discovered DNA, and we're really lucky in our lifetime, in 2003, they figured out all of the pieces to the DNA called encode. And how many pieces are there? 6 billion. Thank you, 6 billion pieces. Is that a lot of pieces? That's a lot of pieces. And you got to get them all straight, because what if you get a few of them fouled up? And you have a birth defect, or you have asthma, or something else. Bad things happen. Now, sometimes I wonder to myself, well, there's how many people in the world? So there's nearly 8 billion people in the world. And I think, well, now, can God really know who I am? As the pastor says, it's a personal relationship. Can God really know who I am? But when you think about it, you think about our DNA has how many pieces? 6 billion. Thank you, Ethan. 6 billion. We realize if you have somebody who can put these things together, these nucleotides, these pieces, one by one, and get them in the right order, 6 billion pieces, then it's not hard for him to know us, to keep up with us. And the DNA is so interesting. So DNA is like a big string, okay? You can read it frontwards and you can read it backwards. Thank you. And then the string, like this, our thumbs together, the string can bend, and those ends can talk to each other. And then those ends can go and talk to other ends. And then it can spin around, so spin your thumbs around, and it can talk to some other ends about what kind of protein or enzyme you want to make and then spin back around. So not only is it, you have to have a string with all the right letters, it has to be able to bend this way, that way, and communicate. That's how incredibly complex DNA is. Computers have X's and O's, whereas our DNA has 4 different letters we can use, and like I just said, it spins this way and that way. There's no observable mechanism to add DNA. So all those little bitty pieces, when we do science, there's no way to add. Like I need some more. It doesn't happen. And it doesn't matter how many billions of years. You can give it a bazillion, jillion years. It doesn't add. And 1.5 billion pieces different than the monkey. The monkeys have hair? They have eyes? They do. Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to pass around some skulls tonight. What we have on our head, and we brought these. We've got a little creation museum. First, we have a human skull, and then we have another skull. That's a great ape skull. Huge difference. What we have on our head, we have skulls and dots. But we have a lot different thoughts than the monkeys. And again, there's no way to add 1.5 billion pieces. They used to say there was only 2% difference, but that's because they counted a lot of junk DNA. See, that DNA is junk. But then we found out, remember we did the finger thing a second ago? They figured out, wait, none of it's junk, because if you fold it this way, now we can use it for something. There's irreducible complexity. What if you have enough DNA for a right arm, but no left leg? Is that a problem? That's a problem. What if you got enough DNA to make from the neck down, but not from the neck up? Is that a problem? That's a problem too. We need all of our DNA, all at the start, to do what we do. That's called irreducible complexity. And there's a thing called chirality. Now we got to do our hands again. Oh, we're supposed to be scientists. We're doing hands. Here, look at your hands. Your hands. Are your hands the same? Not really. You cut your finger. I'm sorry, you cut your finger. We could sew it up for you next time if you do that again. Anyway, So besides the cut, are they the same? And show everybody your hands. You gotta show them. Are they the same? Huh? They're both your hands. They're not entirely the same because one's a left hand and one's a right hand. Okay? They're mirror images. They're mirror images. So in chemistry, we talk about mirror images, and in DNA, you can only have the right-handed molecules go like this because they're kind of spin. Right-handed molecules. Thank you very much. You did good. Yeah. Right-handed molecules. And that comes to you after studying chemistry for like 6 years. There's what's called entropy they mentioned earlier. When you go in your room, does it naturally put itself together? No, yours does. You have a special room. And so usually things fall apart. And that's the problem with DNA over time. It falls apart. That's why when Adam and Eve and Methuselah lived, people lived hundreds and hundreds of years. Well, now we've picked up a lot of things falling apart in our DNA, so now we only live 70 to 80 years. Orphan genes. There are things we have that let me ask you, what's that thing in the back of your throat? The wavy thing, the round thing. Uvula. Thank you, uvula, yeah. No other creature has a uvula, and we got two people who. Why do we have the uvula? Can anybody do vibrato? Otherwise, I got to sing for you. And so we can do vibrato, and that's orphan genes. No other creature has that. Well, how did it get there if we got it from the monkey? Because we didn't get it from the monkey. So the evolution is not adding up very good. Thank you. That sure beats hearing me sing. Thank you. That was very good. Vibrato, we're the only creature who can do that. Orphan genes, we didn't inherit it. We didn't get it for millions of years. Mathematically, it's impossible. They call it Haldane's Dilemma. A guy named Walter Riemann wrote a book about it. So mathematically, evolution is impossible. Again, here's your amoeba to man or monkey to man. And the video talked about abiogenesis. That's the really start, the glob that's alive. Evolution can't explain that. They have no explanation for that. And so this whole concept of going from monkey to man, adding on DNA, again, that doesn't happen. That's all pictures. That's all artists, evolutionary art. And I promise we talk about infinite regression. And the only way I can describe that is when we talk about baseball. And I had a girl come to my office one day, and she and her mom said, "She needs medicine." Why? She said, well, she comes home every day from school, goes to her room, and cries. I usually tell people, I say, well, you know what? It's a dog-eat-dog world, survival of the fittest. How does it make you feel? What did you just say?
Like nothing.
Like nothing. Doggy. Is that evolutionary thinking? You know? Survival of the fittest. And people hang their head down like this. This is what they do. Like, oh, man. I'm like, don't worry. I said, I'm just joking with you. That's atheist thinking. And I got real close to her, and I said, what do you want? And you know what she said? What do you think she said? Take a stand about it. Huh? Who said friends? Friends. Who's there? Friends. Friendship. I said, that's easy. Come on, we'll do the Dr. Connor method. First you make a list of 3 people, like 3 strikes, then you add another one. That's the batter up box. You got 3 friends that you want to be friends with. You want to be friends. You want to be their friend. And so you call up Susie and say, hey, Susie, what's going on? You want to go to the movie? No, I'm kind of clean the garage. Well, how about after you clean the garage? Well, then I got to clean my room. Well, what about after you clean your room? Well, I got to do homework. What about after homework? Well, I got to take a nap. You don't want to go. That's called infinite regression. Keeps going on and on and on. She doesn't want to go. So Susie gets how many strikes? At least 3. But For that time, he's having a bad day, so she gets one strike. Then you go down to the next friend, and person, you say, hey, you want to go to the movies? And they say, well, I can't tonight, but let's go Saturday. Is that a strike? No, it's rain check. Rain check's okay if they do it on Saturday. Rain check's okay. And you call up the third person. Hey, you want to go to the movies? I'm like, yeah. So then you go to the movies, you have fun. Time goes on, eventually Susie ends up getting 3 strikes. What happens then? Who said out? Do it. Who's the guy beside you in the red baseball cap? He's out. That's right. Just like the umpire. She's out. Then you move up. Barbara, it's on the very bottom. She was in better up box. And we just keep going with that process. And that's called infinite regression. People putting it off. They'll put off. And that happens in, you ask evolutionists, well, how did it happen? Well, billions of years. What about this year? No, not this year. What if I give you 100 years? What's going on in 100 years? I don't know. I think I need 1 million. They're just putting it off. Infinite regression. Or they say, well, okay, I don't believe in evolution, but I don't believe in God. I think the aliens brought us. Well, who brought the aliens that brought the aliens? Well, then who brought the aliens that brought the aliens that brought the aliens? That's infinite regression. It's just putting off the answer. Actually, Francis Crick, the guy who made DNA, he wouldn't admit God did it, but he thought maybe the aliens did it. Lastly, is when I was here 2 years ago, somebody said, gave me a question that really stumped me, and I thought it was a little nutty, but I realized that's a brilliant, famous question. Maybe it was somebody here said, well, who made God? Okay, I agree, God made us, but who made God? Somebody here ever hear that? Who made God? Well, okay, so that God made that God. Well, who made the God that made the God that made the God that made the God? Again, it's an infinite regression. Not really fair in logic or life. We're trying to get on base, make a run. We're trying to get on with life. And those kind of answers aren't really fair. They're dodging the situation. Finally, here we got a video, and I've got a few minutes left. This is our fight. Are you guys ready for the fight? It's a very famous atheist used to have a TV show. He's since passed on, but here we go. Let's see if this gets it.
Yet there are still those in science who say the exquisite nature of the universe, the exquisite laws of the universe, are evidence of a designer, of a creator. Mm-hmm. Does that view make sense to you?
It's very tempting. I mean, we want to be thought of as children being cared for by an omnipotent, omniscient, and benevolent creator. I mean, think of all the uncertainties and turmoil and terrors of our life, which would be made less terrifying if this were true. But here, if anywhere, is a case where we must not believe because we want it to be true. Now, if you take a look at Darwin, you see a case where it was so tempting to say, I find a watch. It requires a watchmaker. Watches do not spontaneously self-assemble. And now I find an acorn, or a squid, or a bacterium. It is much more intricately and exquisitely put together than a watch. Here, too, there must have been a creator. It's very natural. But what Darwin pointed out is that there's a perfectly reasonable process, which is inevitable, which will create enormous, exquisite order out of chaos, given enough time. If we thought the universe was only 6,000 years old, there is not enough time, and evolution is nonsense.
So there's a fight. It's a very famous guy. When you get to college, there's going to be people tell you, you know, your pastor's a nice guy, and I'm sure you learned a lot in Sunday school, but we're here to teach you real science. Just leave that stuff at the door. And that's kind of what Carl Sagan is saying. It's make-believe. So, and then you get stuck with this dog-eat-dog worldview that you're just a speck on this little blue planet in the middle of nowhere. You're nobody on a little bitty planet. And go ahead and shoot yourself. Because what But what did we learn tonight that proves or shows that evolution is all wrong, it's not right? How about Ethan? What do you got for us again? So don't forget 6 billion. When you go to school tomorrow, say 6 billion. That's me. That's learning science. You are the greatest proof of creation.
No matter how you feel about your personal body, after today's message, you can know that you were fearfully and wonderfully made by an infinitely intelligent designer God who loves you and made you just the way you are. If you have any questions or comments about this message or any of the other ones, leave some comments in the comment box below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this message. And until then, we'll see you next time.